Okay, welcome in. I'm now going to be reviewing Saturday's action from the Major League Baseball season. There were a total of 16 games, so therefore 32 teams were looking for a win. Starting with the Tampa Bay Rays, they went into New York to take on the Yankees. They would actually shut out New York 2-0 would be the final score. They're now sitting at 12 and 10. Despite the loss, the Yankees are still in first place of the AL East with a 14 and 7 record. Jason Adam picked up his first win. He's 1-0 on the season. Caleb Ferguson is 0 and 3. Garrett Clevenger picked up his first save for Tampa Bay. The Detroit Tigers were taking on the Minnesota Twins. The Twins would win this one. A very close contest. 4-3 would be the final score. With that, Minnesota is now sitting at 7 and 12. After the loss, the Tigers are 11 and 10. Bailey Ober is now 1 and 1 as a starter. Reese Olson is still looking for his first W. He's 0 and 3. And Griffin Jacks picked up his second save. The Milwaukee Brewers went into St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. 12-5 would be the final score. With that, Milwaukee's now sitting at 13 and 6. And after the loss, the Cardinals are now 3 games below 500 with a record of 9 and 12. Bryson Wilson would pick up his second win of the season. He's 2 and 0, while Miles McLotus is 1 and 3. The Miami Marlins went into Chicago to take on the Cubs. They would get a shocking win, picking up their 5th win of the season. They're now 5 and 16. Sorry, I should have said the final score was 3-2. After the loss, the Cubs are 12 and 8. Calvin Foucher is 1 and 0 as a starter. Adbert Alzolay is 0 and 2, and Tanner Scott picked up his third save for Miami. The Houston Astros went into Washington to take on the Nationals. Washington would win this contest 5-4 would be the final score. With the win, they're 2 games below 500 with a record of 9 and 11. After the loss, the Astros are 8 games below 500 with a record of 7 and 15. Kyle Finnegan picked up his first win of the season. He's now 1 and 2 as a starter, while Seth Martinez is 0 and 2. The Arizona Diamondbacks were taking on the San Francisco Giants. The Giants would win this contest 7-3 would be the final score. They're now 2 games below 500, sitting at 10 and 12. The Diamondbacks have the exact same record after the loss. Ryan Walker is now 2 and 2 as a starter, while Zach Gallen suffered his first loss. He's 3 and 1. The Boston Red Sox were in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. They would double up on the Pirates. 4-2 would be the final score, improving their record to 12 and 10. After the loss, the Pirates are now just 1 game above 500 with an 11 and 10 record. Cutter Crawford is 1-0 as a starter. Mitch Keller suffered his second loss. He's now 2 and 2. And Kenley Jansen picked up his 5th save for the Red Sox. The New York Mets went into Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. They would win this contest. 6-4 would be the final score, improving their record to 12 and 8. After the loss, the Dodgers are now just 1 game above 500 with a record of 12 and 11. Michael Tonkin picked up his first win of the year. He's 1 and 2. Ryan Yarbrough picked up his first loss of the season. He's 2 and 1. And Reed Garrett got his first save for the Mets. Chicago White Sox were continuing their series with the Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia would prevail in this matchup. Final score would be 9-5. Philadelphia is now improved to 13 and 8. And after the loss, the White Sox are 14 games below 500 with a record of 3 and 17. Zach Wheeler picked up his first win of the season. He's 1 and 3. Michael Soroka is still looking for his first win. He's 0 and 3, while Jose Alvarado picked up his 4th save for the Phillies. The Oakland A's were continuing their series with the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians would double up the score. 6-3 would be the final score, improving their record to 15 and 6. The A's are now 5 games below 500 after the loss, with a record of 8 and 13. Logan Allen picked up his 3rd win of the season. He's now 3 and 0. Alex Wood is still winless. He's 0 and 2. And Emmanuel Clace picked up his 6th save for Cleveland. The Cincinnati Reds were taking on the Los Angeles Angels. The Reds would win this one. 7-5 would be the final score. They're now sitting at 11 and 9. After the loss, the Angels are now 3 games below 500 with a record of 9 and 12. Graham Ashcraft picked up his 3rd win of the season. He's now 3 and 1. Patrick Sandoval is 1-3 after the loss, and Alexis Diaz picked up his third save for Cincinnati. The Baltimore Orioles went into Kansas City to take on the Royals. They would get a road victory in this matchup. 9-7 would be the final score. They are now sitting at 13-7, while after the loss, 13-8. So just a half game difference between these two squads. Corbin Burns is 3-0 after the win. Cole Reagans is 0-2, and Craig Kimbrell picked up his fifth save for the Birds. The Atlanta Braves are taking on the Texas Rangers. Atlanta would win this contest. 5-2 would be the final score, improving their record to 14-5. After the loss, the Rangers are now back to 500 with an 11-11 record. Charlie Morton is 2-0 as a starter. Nathan Eovaldi is 1-2 after the loss, and Raisel Iglesias picked up his sixth save for Atlanta. The Miami Marlins were continuing their series with the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs would win this contest. 5-3 would be the final score, improving their record to 13-8. After the loss, the Marlins are now 12 games below 500 with a record of 5-17. Shoto Imanaga would pick up his third win of the season. He's now 3-0. Anthony Bender suffered the loss. He's 0-1. And Hector Neris picked up his first save for Chicago. The Seattle Mariners went into Colorado to take on the Rockies. They would actually shut out Colorado. 7-0 would be the final score, bringing their record back to 500. They're now sitting 10-10 on the season. After the loss, the Rockies are 12 games below 500 with a record of 4-16. Luis Castillo would pick up his first win of the season. He's now 1-4. Dakota Hudson is still winless on the season. He is 0-4. And the last game from Saturday took place in San Diego, where we had the Padres playing host to the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays would pick up their second win of the series. They're now sitting at 12-9. Well, after the loss, the Padres are now one game below 500 with an 11-12 record. Jose Barrios is still perfect on the season. He's 4-0. Randy Vasquez suffered the loss. He's 0-1. And Jordan Romano picked up his second save for the Blue Jays. Alrighty, that takes care of Saturday's recap from the Major League Baseball season. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, as always, take care.